Hi guys, it's Stephanie. It's Thursday, December 21st. So, work is going good. Every day I go in, I do the best that I can. My job as a sales specialist, I like very much. I meet new people every day. I'm already involved in the media and social networking. So for me, the job when it comes to meeting people and making presentations comes natural. All right? So my job aspect is going good. My home life is very, very, very private. You would never guess that it was private because I'm on social media, right? But it is. The only time when my life is not so private is when I'm making a video and talking to you guys. Other than this, my life is very private. I don't share my videos or my social media with people that I work with. It's too much to give out to them, and there's a lot of personal stuff on my channel. However, I have no problem sharing them with people like you. Why? Because out of 422 subscribers, I only know one person that's a subscriber, and she lives nearby. As a matter of fact, she came into my job one day and started talking to me, and she was blown off her socks, she said, because she only knew me from YouTube. We became great friends. Other than that, nobody else knows me on a personal level. So, before I continue, I want to say thank you to all of my new subscribers and the past 17 subscribers who subscribe to my channel. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. If you guys are watching for the first time, and if you see something that resonates with you, then please don't forget to share, subscribe. I'd appreciate it so much. I'll be right back with more.
I'm not suggesting anything so complicated.
A new place, a new home. For a while, let me feel alive. Nothing to hold me back. Take my time, just enjoy the ride. A new man passing by. Life is good, best I've ever felt. Get me up.
On today's discussion, I want to get a little closer for this. So, on today's discussion, it's got to do with trust. Now, across the spectrum, there's a lot of people that most people trust, and I bet they're placed on the top 5 people besides friends and family. One of the people that society comes to trust without a question are your doctors, your physicians and your doctors. These people, you trust them because your life may depend on them. Doctors, okay? Physicians. If you have a health issue, you go to your doctors, they diagnose you, and then they give you a prognosis, right? You trust them. Your life depends on them. The other people that we're supposed to trust is law enforcement. They're supposed to protect us, right? And they're supposed to make sure that everybody's abiding by the laws. Okay? And they're watching out who's breaking the laws. They're watching out who's out harming other people or who's taking people's property. So you trust the police to be on your side and to protect you and to protect your home as well. Not 24/7, but if you come home and you find out there may be somebody in your home, then you will call them and they'll come in and clear your house. Okay? So doctors and police officers, you trust the local fire department. Okay? And I'm not talking about family. Families, you can trust your family, but you can't trust your family. That all depends on the relationship you have. We should be able to trust our families, but in some cases we may not. Why? Because we just seem to have some minor issues sometimes. Sometimes when we have our first big issue, then you may think twice about what you want to tell them when it comes in the context of trust, right? I don't trust my family with my entire information of my private life. I'll just tell them what I want them to know, all right? But I trust them to a degree because they're family. Your friends, we're supposed to trust our friends, okay? It takes time to pick out a new friend because you have to get to know each other before you trust them, okay? The kind of trust I want to talk about is one that is developed through business and through customer service, okay? What do you think about trusting your mechanic, your automotive mechanic? The guy that you come to trust and depend on when your vehicle needs a tune-up, change out those things that are associated with wear and tear, right? Over the years, we go to our mechanics for various things. Maybe your brakes need to be changed. Maybe your tires need to be fixed. Maybe you need a tune-up. Maybe your engine is leaking oil, or your engine light have just come on. We trust our mechanics to take care of those problems, okay? But we trust them to be honest with us, right? Because we're handing over our hard earnings money. You go to work for 40 hours or more, you're working to get paid, and the money you give them, whether you pay them with a credit card, debit card, or cash, it's still money, okay? You take out money out of your checking, you take out money out of the savings, you hand them over your credit card or your debit card, it's money. If it's a credit card, then it's a loan. You got to pay it back to the credit card companies. But what I'm trying to say is, when they fix something, you depend on them to get it fixed and to be honest that they tell you what is wrong is what's really wrong, right? And whatever they charge you for a repair or service in your vehicle is based on what they charge you, but they're being competitive with other repair shops. I've been going to a certain automotive repair shop for the past, I would say, 23 years. Okay? 23 years I've been going to the same people to take care of my car repairs, oil changes, rotation of my tires and all that stuff for almost 23 years. And every year you go there for something, a tune-up, oil change, blah, 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 right? And you don't question what they charge you to do the work that's needed to your vehicle, right? Until you start going to a new automotive repair shop in a different town. You see, I've been living in the city in Florida for 23 years. I have not moved away from the city. And to be honest with you, I only been to a couple of automotive repair shops, and the pricing is within a couple $100s. Not a big deal, okay? Labor is charged different in different localities. In the city, they charge you pretty much close the same. Maybe about, I don't know, maybe $1, $1.50, $2 difference. And that's based on the hour that they're working on your vehicle, okay? Last year, early this year, I took my vehicle in to get an estimate on brand new brakes, which included rotors and pads. That's it. He came back and he printed out the estimate for me, and it was about $1,200. And he told me that because I'm such a great customer and I go only to them, that they're going to take off $100. So the total estimate was $1,200 for labor and for the parts, which included brand new rotors and all 4 pads, front and rear. $1,100 and change. I said, okay. They told me that I don't need brakes immediately because I went there to get my oil changed. And because I went there to get my oil changed, they just had to do an inspection on the brakes to see where my brakes were. After they changed my oil and rotated the tires, they came back and told me that my brakes are going to be needing replaced soon because my rotors are down, they're really worn, and they can't really turn them, okay? And the pads are almost worn down too. And they said that for another 100 miles or so, or a couple 100 miles, it's going to start squeaking and making noises, that I should change them right away. Well, that was earlier in the year. I'm still driving my vehicle and I haven't heard any squealing. However, I believe them. So anyways, today, after work, I stopped at a repair shop, which is maybe about 3 miles from where I work. Good thing, close by my job. And I went in and I told them I'd like to have an estimate on 4 brand new rotors and 4 pads for all 4 tires. And they came back with something like $650. Brand new rotors, brand new pads, and you're gonna use OEM parts. That means that the parts are from the manufacturer of the vehicle. It's not gonna be some spin-off part or a second party manufacturing, okay? They said it's gonna be OEM. I told them that my mechanics for the past 20 years or so gave me a quote of $1,200. They said, really? They said, well, you know what? We're not going to be close to that. Your cost is going to be about $650, and it's going to take about 2 to 3 hours to complete. They're going to remove all the rotors, and they're going to remove all the pads, and then replace the rotors and replace the pads, about 2 to 3 hours. So they said that they felt that my mechanics were charging me too much money. So my original mechanics were charging me almost double of what this shop is charging me. So on the way home from the repair shop, I'm thinking about, wow, I've been going to those guys for all those years. Is it possible that they were overcharging me in all the work that they've been doing to my vehicles? And I've had more than one vehicles. A few times I've had 2 vehicles at the same time. As you know, I just sold my Mercedes not too long ago. And they wanted to give me a quote for brand new pads and rotors on that car. They told me it was going to cost me $1,000 just for the front. That's just for the rotors and the pads, just for the front. And the back, it would have been the same thing, about $1,200. That's about $2,400 with labor for my Mercedes to replace rotors and brakes. So anyways, I'm driving home from work and I'm thinking of the reasons why they might have charged me double as the place here in town is charging me. Could it be that the mechanics in the cities are charging way more money? The place where I'm taking them here in my town where I live, it's half what they were charging me in the city. Is it because this is a small town where I live? Is it because they're not a brand name repair shop? I'm going to be clear cut with you and I'm going to tell you who or what the company was I have been dealing with for the past 20-something years doing repairs on my vehicles. Midas. Midas are the people I've been taking my vehicle for a long, long time. Faithfully. Why? Because I got used to them. Okay? I trusted them. I never got a second opinion from a different shop. Okay? So they just charged me away. Charged me. Every vehicle I owned, they worked on for me. It's quite possible that if I had never moved, I would have continued to go there. And did I say that all the repair shops in the same vicinity or same city were not that way off? Okay? Then that means it's quite possible that the size of the township where you live, the labor is different. The parts are going to be the same no matter where you go. Okay? The rotors are OEM. They charge you the same. It's the labor. So this town where I live, they're charging me half as much as what Midas was charging me. Half as much. And I'm grateful. Because you know what? Last week, I called up Midas 3 times if I can take my vehicle there, back in the city where I lived, because I trusted those guys. They were working on my vehicles for years. Okay? They treated me with respect every time I walked in. They were very friendly. And they would take me out into the shop area and show me what was wrong. You do that to customers for years? You take them out where the vehicle is on the lift and they point out what's wrong and what needs to be done? You develop a relationship with them. And then you trust them. And then you pay them. Okay? So, these guys here are going to charge me $650 for 4 rotors, front and back, and to change my brake pads as well, front and back. $650. Now, if I was going to have Midas do it, I wouldn't have done it right away. The brakes are not squealing yet. Okay? I was gonna hold off. And I was gonna drive all the way back to my city where I lived because I've developed a strong bond, a strong trust and relationship with them that I would have drove 2 hours to have them do it. But every time I call to book an appointment, they will never call me back. They will never call me back. So you know what? Today, on the way home from work, I stopped at this repair shop that I saw on the way to work this morning. I said to myself, that's an automotive repair shop right on the way to work. I must stop there on the way home, and I did. So I walk in, I told them what I needed to get done. I told them I need 4 rotors and 4 pads. And I told them that I had it inspected by Midas. And I told them what Midas was going to pay me. I mean, what I was going to pay Midas. They said, you know what? It won't even be close what our cost is compared to what Midas was going to charge you. We're only going to charge you $650. And you can drop your vehicle off at lunchtime. One of the guys will take you back to work. And when you get out of work, they'll drop the vehicle off at your job. Okay? That's great service. I'm glad that I took the chance to go to people who I do not know. Okay? If they do a good job, I will continue to go there because, quite frankly, my vehicle has reached 118,000 miles. It runs impeccable. The engine is smooth. It's never been in a wreck. It's got brand new tires. The engine runs quiet. However, I checked on the past repairs that the previous owner did. They were just maintenance stuff. You know, oil change, new tires, change wipers, all the fluids, you know, that kind of stuff. It never had a major repair done. However, last week, I went in my garage, I took out the vehicle, and I noticed there was some drop of oil in my garage. First, I wasn't sure it was oil. I thought maybe it was like AC water, the condensation from the AC system. But it wasn't. When I touched it, it was slick like oil and it was dark like oil. So either the oil pan is leaking or maybe the head gaskets are leaking. I hope it's just the oil pan. But at any rate, I told him about that. That's going to be next on my list. And it's going to be interesting to see what they charge me for that. Because I've had oil leaks done by Midas. And they charged me about $1,500. $1,500 just to change a gasket. Unbelievable. After I get that done, I'm going to have them inspect my timing belt on my car. Because if that breaks, I'll be wrecked. I can't afford to drive to work or back from work and my timing belt snapping. That can cause a lot of engine damage. So these are my lists to get my car done. Next Wednesday, I'll be bringing it in to get new brakes and rotors. And after that, I'll be scheduling in to get that oil leak checked out. Yeah. So, anyways, the people that I called out that we developed trust with are those people. Doctors, police officers, firemen, okay, our friends, our family, to a certain degree, and mechanics. Maybe you're a plumber, maybe you're an electrician, I don't know. But in the service industry, people who you trust are those people, electricians, plumbers, AC people. I'm having my AC checked out this Saturday. There's nothing wrong with it. but I wanted to pull a maintenance on it because when I moved in, I looked inside my AC outside and I saw leaves everywhere inside there. So I said, okay, you're gonna clean it up, you're gonna check the freon level, and they'll clean out the cooling fins or whatever, and that's it. For 80 bucks, if that gives me a peace of mind, every year to do it once a year, then I'll do it. I already changed the air filter in my handler, so yeah. So that's it, guys. What do you guys think? Do you think that when you move to a small town from a big city, that automotive mechanics labor charge is different? It's less in a small town? Do you think that big cities charge more than small towns? Very possible. When you live in Florida and you live in a big city, it's quite possible that the mechanics in those cities charge you a lot more money. They charge you a lot more money. The labor is higher. It's quite possible. See, I don't want to say that they were ripping me off, because I did say that hourly wise, other mechanics was charging very close to what they were charging. So quite frankly, I really believe that in the small town where I live, the labor for automotive repair is a little bit less, a lot less. Wow. So I finally did it because I've been thinking about taking my car out to get another estimate, and I saw these guys on the way to work. So next Wednesday, my brakes will be all replaced and I'll be happy again. So I want you guys to tell me what you think about all this. What have you experienced when you moved from city to city or from town to a city? Did you see a big change in the labor charges for your automotive repair? So yeah. So anyways, I hope you guys have a nice week. I'll be talking to you before Christmas. And don't forget to give me a thumbs up. I'll talk to you guys soon.